welcome to the World of Warcraft Legion beta. Today we'll be doing the Paladin. As you can see, we'll be doing their scenario. We'll take a look at their class hall, the artifact weapon, and we'll take a look at the new talents and the abilities and some of the animations. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and get started. We skipped the opening scenario and went right to Dalaran.
Need help?
It is good to see you on your feet. The members of the Council of Six are recuperating from their ordeal. The intensity of the teleportation spell can be disorienting. It seems you lost consciousness for a time, but at least you didn't awaken to find yourself stuck in a wall. Dalaran has been relocated to the Broken Isles. From here, we will spearhead the effort to acquire the Pillars of Creation and drive the Legion from Azeroth once and for all. When you finish this quest, you will get the Dalaran Hearthstone, which is basically your Garrison Hearthstone, and you'll get 5 Tomes of the Tranquil Mind. Those are super useful because they'll allow you to change your spec while you're out in the world, or change your talents rather while you're out in the world and while you're in dungeons and raids. As you can see, there's no quests showing up, and there's none here in the city right now. So what we have to do is run around a little bit until we get a NPC running up to us to start our artifact quest lines. As you can see, Dalaran's been revamped a little bit. Looks pretty much exactly like it did before, except the very middle of the city in here.
Thank the light I found you. I must speak with you at once.
And here we go. An urgent gathering. A critical decision must be made. The Legion devastated our forces at the Broken Shore. The mightiest army this world has ever known was reduced to cinders in moments. We must gather those with the conviction to save our home. Travert of Tyr's Guard and Auric Trueheart have made plans to do just that. But we must not let them walk alone. I ask you seek them out and guide them to Crassus's Landing so that we may make our decision together.
Excellent. Meet me at Crassus's Landing when you are ready.
So what we'll do is we'll head over here. Auric Trueheart is right here in the Scribe's Saculum?
Aye, that's the one. Shield Hill it
That's how you
is.
say it.
There's no time to waste.
Tell him to head over.
Tyrosis. Now he's a good man. Count me in. There's too much.
He says a little bit of RP. I won't go through it because we see it in every single scenario.
No one here will help us. We must fulfill our duty. If there's any chance of finding aid, Ifrina and I will come. Stay, Dawnbreaker.
Let's head up to Crassus's Landing. Hopefully,
I'm glad you could join us.
this hasn't bugged out. There we go. So we'll talk to this gentleman right here.
At your service.
Thank you for helping us gather together. We must stand united. Our gathering has identified several weapons of immense power. In the right hands, these holy artifacts give us a fighting chance against the Legion. We cannot pursue all of them at once. We risk too much if we spread ourselves that thin. We must agree on where our efforts are best focused. That is why I asked you here. As one of our greatest champions, you must be our voice of reason and decide our next move. This quest right here will start your artifact quest line.
May the light, brothers and sisters, we must
as you
not
can
forget
see,
the Ashes.
even with this gentleman talking
Tyrion
over me.
may be gone, but the High Blade is still out there somewhere.
Okay. As you can see, this will be your UI. You'll be able to choose your first of the 3 artifacts. I know you can get 2. I'm not quite sure if you can get all 3. I haven't really had much time as of recent to play on the beta, so I haven't seen the changes that they've made. So anything may change here in the future, but I definitely know you can get 2. But for the purposes of our video, we're going to take protection. An ancient Vrykul saga speaks of a shield crafted by Tyr himself. During the Winterscorn War, it was used to expose Loken's lies to the Vrykul and convert many to Tyr's cause. The final resting place of the shield was lost to time, but rumors point to the one who might know of the final chapters of the story. And that's our shield, Truth Guard. It does come with a one-hander, as you can see at the bottom of your screen, or excuse me, of the eye that just popped up. You can see Oathseeker, which will be our one-hander. So we'll take a better look at that a little bit later on in the video, and I'll have time set up in the description if you're looking for something in particular and you don't want to watch through the whole scenario. You just want to see some of the animations. You can go ahead and skip ahead. So we'll select that.
Azeroth will not
Speak to him
fall while
again.
we stand.
Excellent choice. There's no time to waste. You can see that was a little grayed out still. It's just a little buggy. Everything's still a little buggy. It is the beta servers.
Take care of yourself out
You
there.
may be familiar with Auric Trueheart. He has devoted his time after the Northrend campaign to learning more about Tyr. Auric is evidence of a powerful shield crafted by Tyr long ago. With the help of the Sunwalkers, we may finally be able to seek it out. Please speak to him immediately.
You can always count on me.
And here is Auric right here with Tahu Sagewind.
Hello. Goodbye. Since the defeat of the Lich King, I've spent my time around Ulduar, learning about Tyr. He was the only Titan Keeper who fought Loken during his betrayal. I found a Vrykul saga describing a powerful shield Tyr crafted for his Vrykul champion to carry into battle.
I have some ability to speak with the long-departed. We may be able to question the hero in this saga directly.
Aye, that's my hope. With your help, we have a chance of finding this artifact.
I'm glad you're coming. I've been waiting to pursue this for some time now. With help from the Seers, I think it can be done. Naturally, I've done some legwork already. I believe this Gorvold is buried at Shield Hill in the Howling Fjord. Tahu can help locate the grave, and with a short ritual we will have our answers. Meet us at Shield Hill in the Howling Fjord, and we'll move on to the next step.
The tower in the middle of Dolaran has a portal to Wormrest Temple. Should get you most of the way there. Tahu, thanks again for helping us Paladins.
As you can see,
You asked the Sunwalkers for aid, and I have come.
lots of RP.
May my presence bring success to your quest, Auric.
Lots of RP. To get to Wormrest Temple, I'm going to show you this. You come here to the center of Dalaran, and on this platform, just step into it. Take us down to Aegwyn's Gallery. Spend a good little bit of RP in this room. I'm not going to talk too much about it. It is quite a bit of spoilers, and I don't want to ruin too much story for anyone that is interested in saving that. So here is the portal room. We got Caverns of Time, Dalaran Crater, Wormrest Temple, Shatrath, and the Caverns of Time. So we're going to take our portal to Wormrest. Hit through here, and hopefully flying is working now in Northrend. It is, thankfully, and we'll be heading over to the Howling Fjord right over here to get our quest line moving along. Unfortunately, some of the things are very buggy right now. I haven't been on the beta in nearly a week. I've had some family in town, so some of the quests are a little buggy. There we go. We got it working. For some reason, it's not automatically showing up. I'm not sure if that's an option. I haven't taken the time to look through anything new that they've added in recently, so I do apologize for that. But some things are just a little buggy right now. Hopefully they'll flesh out. As you can see here are some of the talents. I took mostly the ones for this video that are either passives that we don't really have to mess around with too much, or ones that are just interesting looking. Blessed Hammer, Blessing of Spell Warding. We'll take a look at those a little later on. Blinding Light, so that we could get an idea of some of the animations later on that you'll have. I remember this being a little bit slow to get all the way down here. The nice thing about the prop Paladin is, as you can see, the bloat is kind of gone. I mean, we do have a lot of stuff up here. A lot of these are just flavor, though. A lot of these are situational. You're not going to be worried too much about all of these abilities. Cleanse, Flash. Not really going to need too much of that. You won't be tanking and casting heals on yourself too often, so. And when you do, it'll be through this ability, which we'll talk about later. This is our kind of Word of Glory, or there was a shield talent, I forget what it's called, but this kind of replaces that, and we'll talk about them more in depth, but give you an idea while we're flying down here so we're not bored out of our mind. This is actually one of the better scenarios. I think the Paladins have 3 of the better ones. They're really interesting. They also have 3 of the best looking artifacts. So, as opposed to the warrior. Warriors are a little bit plain. Their scenario is very, very fun, though. But the paladin is, their abilities look amazing. Their scenarios are amazing. And the artifact weapons are quite cool. It's definitely something that you should consider if you're really interested in transmogging and you're really interested in the way your character looks. The paladin is definitely at the forefront of the classes. You can see I added some of my characters over so that I could have my transmog. So we have a nice looking character as we go. I'm doing the dwarf for this one. Got some judgment. We got the WoW movie shield and the burnished Quell Sarar. This is the new UI for that you'll see on all your characters. A little more basic. Which is a shame. I mean, I think a lot of people liked having too much crap to look at all the time, so you could min-max, but it really doesn't make a difference in the long run. And here we are, Howling Fjord. It's been a long time. One of my favorite zones in the game. Where is Auric? There we go.
You made it! This land haunts me still. So much pain and death. Well, let's get on with it.
To Northrend. I trust the journey wasn't too long or hard. Let's go find our dead adventurer, eh?
See ya around.
You should read the saga yourself. It's right here. We're here to speak to the spirit of that Vrykul I spoke of. Tahu Sagewind is a powerful seer, and he should be able to bring his spirit back. It will be able to help us convince him to speak. You should speak with Tahu so we can get started.
Goodbye.
I'm not going to read the saga. I'm going to leave that towards you. I'm not going to make you listen to me read off a whole bunch of stuff. I know you might be here just to see the video itself. So if you want to read that, you can go ahead and do that on your own when you're doing the Proc Questline. If enough people are interested, just leave a comment, and maybe I'll make a video. Come back and read it out, or write it out in the comments.
Friend. Another time, then.
There we go. And we gotta find the hero's grave now. So what we're gonna do is fly around, and you can see these little tombstones here. We're gonna have to click on these.
I need to target something first. I'm out of range.
We have found you, and you have found the grave.
What's the next step?
I will begin the ritual. Focus your will upon the spirit, while our friend keeps us safe.
Let's get to it.
I die to ease the pain of my failure. Why do you disturb me?
I've read your saga. Where did you find the shield?
It seems you compel me to answer. My journey took me to Stormheim, to a tomb of warrior kings. There, I found a shrine to Tyr's champion, but was denied entry. I tried many times, until I could bear the pain no longer. I returned in disgrace, and sought to wash away my failure in the blood of others.
We will finish what ye started.
Return to your rest, and be disgraced no more.
Thanks for your help, Tarhu. I won't forget this.
It was my honor to serve. I must go to Netherlight Temple and inform the Conclave of our success.
As for us, we should get back to Dalaran. I'll meet you there.
And there's the first part of the scenario there. Not much, but it's something. Give you a little flavor. Get around the world. Take a peek at everything. Which I think is kind of neat. You know, kind of gives you an idea of where you've been going over the years. Gives some flavor back to the game.
Greetings!
I think I've already have a lead on that island. Word around the tavern was the Great Warrior had broken into a Vrykul King's tomb on an island in Stormheim. That's got to be the one we're looking for.
See ya around!
We'll be flying straight to the island. My friend said that the warrior who came here before us never entered the shrine itself, since they were after one of the tombs. If a Vrykul hero couldn't enter the shrine, I bet it's still protected by Tyr's power. I'm thinking we have a good shot at this. My pal Kato will meet us there. We might be needing the talents of a good healer. Go to Shield's Rest in Stormheim and claim Titan Guard. Or excuse me, Truth Guard.
Farewell,
Claim
Titan.
Truth Guard. Titan Guard, Truth
Mount
Guard.
this wee birdie
All
here
the
and follow me to Stormheim!
So we'll hop on and get rolling. It's not gonna fly us all the way across. I kind of wish it did, but they didn't. Otherwise, I feel like they would have had to instance the whole world. So it's a little unfortunate, but it's what you got to deal with. And here we are. Shield's Rest. A lot of Rykul imagery around.
Kato, I'm glad you could make it. The shield is close. I can feel it.
I'm here, aren't I? Let's find this shield. Some of us have a war to get back to.
Kato's the best healer around. We're lucky we didn't have to wait in a queue for his services. Tomb's up ahead. Let's get in there and find that shrine. We'll follow your lead, hero.
So, they're going to give us
Spoilers! Halt!
kind of a little group. I remember this being pretty
This
hard,
hallowed ground with your greed! Be gone!
and I'm not particularly good as a tank, but we'll find out. We'll find out how I'm gonna do. Okay, we'll just open that for no reason in particular. And our UI for some reason isn't showing up, but you have to run over and click these off, and we can use them on our teammates here, or excuse me, on the things we're fighting here. Do a little bit more damage. Fortunately, I can't see the health. Of any of my teammates. There usually would be a little UI here that you could use. There we go. Easy peasy. That's unfortunate that I can't see this. Yeah, usually you'd have these two guys' names right over here along with your own. I'll worry about that later, but another little bugginess.
Well, look at that. Seems your king was the champion, and he came here after Tyr's fall.
Some things are working better than others. Let's get back in there. Hopefully,
We will persevere.
the greatest healer in the land We'll start doing a little more healing. This is pretty funny. Okay. Maybe this time. And I won't go through reading all of those. Again, I'll leave some stuff for everyone, for when you're actually playing through this. If you're interested, leave a comment and I can come back on another character and write them out for you. I'll put them in the comment section if anybody's really interested.
Too far away. I'm out of range.
A glowing door. Wee bit of this tablet says you need to withstand the door's gaze. I'm betting that's not gonna be pleasant. Care to give it a try?
So, for a lot of these scenarios, you'll have to use your abilities through certain gates and certain doors. For, I believe, the Holy Paladin, we go through this left gate over here. I don't think the Ret Paladin doesn't come through any of this, but you'll see here, we have Divine Shield right here.
Use protection magic! That damage is too much for me to heal!
And we pop Divine Shield.
Ye did it!
There we
Better
go.
than being a pile of ash
Easy
on the ground,
peasy.
ain't it?
It's not much of
Oh,
a...
another tablet! This champion is still forged, never touched by the curse of flesh. We should take care.
I bid you greetings, opener of doors. You are the first. I am Ygrim, champion of Tyr. Let us see if you are worthy to bear his shield.
These models for some of the Vrykul here are amazing. I really hope they become a playable class at some point. They really put a lot of work into them for this expansion. But here you can see this room that we're in, this Vrykul-esque hall. Really, really cool. Alright, and we're going to be fighting both of these for this.
Long have I waited for one who proves worthy. Face me in battle, that we might test your heart. Let us talk. Let us begin.
Who dares challenge the truth seeker? I will freeze you where you stand. Protected in ice! Freeze! Protected in ice!
indeed worthy. Were Tyr alive, he would make you his champion. I hereby bestow Truth Guard upon you. Use it to defend Azeroth from its enemies.
And here we go. Now that we've defeated him, he'll put the shield down, and we can go up and claim that, and Oathseeker. And you can see we just got a
I am weary.
new
With
ability.
a worthy successor, my long vigil is at an end. Fight for truth and justice, champion. In Tyr's name.
Amazing! Good to see the shield in your hands. Me and Kato will head to Dalaran and report to Tyrosus. If you need a ride, my hippogriff's outside.
And since our Dalaran Hearthstone is on cooldown, normally I would set my regular Hearthstone there as well, but we forgot to, and so we'll have to run outside and take that hippogriff. Just in case, when you do get to Dalaran, I would suggest setting your Hearthstone there to begin with. There's a lot of back and forth while you're leveling. When you're at 110, though, setting your normal Hearthstone somewhere else is really nice. They've also added I think it's at max level only. It's a whistle that you'll get. So anywhere in the world, you can whistle and it will bring up a random mount that will take you to the nearest flight path. So you kind of have 3 Hearthstones technically. And I don't believe your Garrison Hearthstone goes anywhere. So, for some reason, these two just bubble hearthed out and showed up outside. I'm pretty sure that's a bug, so I'll report that. Make sure I report that afterwards. But there we go. We've done the very beginning of the Paladin scenario. We've gotten our artifact weapons. Now we're on our way back to Dalaran to turn in our quest. And I believe that will send us to our class order hall.
We will prevail.
I am heartened that your quest was a success. We have been awaiting your return.
Take care of yourself out there.
With you on our side, I know the Legion will fall. But before we march on the Broken Isles, we must put High Lord Tyrion to rest. There is but one place suitable for a paladin of his caliber, Light's Hope Sanctum, a secret bastion of the light hidden beneath our chapel. Paladins the world over are on their way to the ceremony. I know Tyrion would want you there most of all.
Walk always in the light.
So, as you can see, he'll give you a little option here. How do I get there?
May the
And
light give
it shows you here in the quest. What we'll do is we'll head to the middle of Dalaran again. By the way, if you are playing a paladin or planning to play a paladin right away in Legion, I would suggest setting your Hearthstone before Dalaran if you want to get around a lot faster and you're rushing to 100 or 110 rather. Go ahead and set your Hearthstone to somewhere near Light's Hope. Not, I don't know. You could probably set it actually in Light's Hope, but also make sure when you take Dalaran Crater, it's just like the Mage Portal. Make sure your Divine Shield is available or your Blessing of Protection. I don't have Blessing of Protection because I spec'd out of it, but no big deal. We have Divine Shield off cooldown. Pop it, fall to the ground, get achievements because we're the best. Be invisible and hop on our mount. And we'll start heading over. You can see there's Legion invasions going on right now. I'm not quite sure that's going to make it onto live that way, where the Legion invasions are still going on after Legion's out. Maybe they are. Maybe they'll scale to 110. You can see one of the ships here. For those of you that haven't been on the PTR, testing that out. As you can see, it's happening right over there. Was that Hillsbrad? Hillsbrad Foothills, yeah. And you can see more of them on the map here. Probably some in Kalimdor too. Yeah, there's one in Ashara. pretty cool. I like when they do this with the world. Makes it look like the world's actually alive again, and not just everyone standing in Stormwind talking about politics and spamming anal bullshit. Anyway, we're on our way to Light's Hope Chapel over here. Oops, excuse me. Up it. Come on. There we go. Right over there. Right over there. But you can see, we did get an ability when we got Truth Guard and Oathseeker, and that's an ability that we can use on a 1-minute cooldown. We'll take a look at it once we're in the class hall and done. We'll go up to the training dummies and we'll take a look at the abilities. But every artifact does get an ability. They're on very short cooldowns, usually somewhere between 45 seconds and a minute, and they're super useful. Really cool abilities. Some of them are a little less useful than others, but they always have some purpose, either to make up for lack of AoE threat, or healing, or damage, etc. So, pretty cool abilities. Let's see, where are we? We're getting close. I do believe I have, max draw distance on. I have everything set to low right now. My computer isn't the best. Yeah, view distance all the way up. So, you can kind of see Acarus here in the background. Yeah, there's Acarus right there. So we're pretty close. Yeah, Light's Hope Chapel will be your base of operations for the Paladin. You could set your Hearthstone there, like I said, for this opening quest, but you won't need to do that permanently, because there will be, once we turn all this in, we will have a portal that we can go through to get back to Dalaran from Light's Hope, and I believe there is one to get to Light's Hope all the time. In where the battleground queues used to be in Dalaran. So that'll be good for us. We won't have to do too much flying back and forth. You can kind of just focus your efforts on your world quests when you hit max level and raids and dungeons. And here we go. I believe we got a statue of Tyrion here. Ooh, little lag spike. Statue of Tyrion here at the beginning. I believe that's Tyrion. We're just going to say that's Tyrion. Okay, here we are at the chapel. As you can see, there's a little cog here. Click it. There we go. We've entered Light's Hope Sanctum. This is my favorite. A lot of you Paladin lovers that love the lore and love the architecture will notice a lot of cool stuff. We got all the flags of the Silver Hand. As we come in, we can see Paladins from all over the world are lined up for us to walk through. Here we've got Grian's Stout Mantle, a notable one. A bunch of the members of the Silver Hand, and here's Maxwell Tyrosus.
Azeroth will not.
It is fitting that you are here.
Stand.
Time and again you have fought to save our world. Now I fear I must ask you to undertake an even greater act of service. The Paladins of Azeroth must stand united behind a single leader. With Tyrion's passing, you are the one most worthy to wear the mantle of High Lord. If you agree to accept this duty, inscribe your name into the Librum of Ancient Kings, and I will address the masses on your behalf. The Order of the Silver Hand is reborn, with you as its champion.
You can always count on me. These fine men and women need a leader. Your deeds prove you are the clear choice to bear that burden. Come, I will address them on your behalf. Paladins of Azeroth, you've gathered to mourn the loss of High Lord Tyrion Fordring. Many of you look to him as an ideal, the paragon of what we all strive to be. Let us observe a moment of silence for a great soldier, leader, and friend. In the light, we are one, brother. Always. Inscribe your name into the Librum of Ancient Kings, so that we may begin the ceremony. You all know the noble deeds of the champion at my side. This hero has been chosen by the light to succeed Tyrion as High Lord. Under our new leader, this order shall become a mighty weapon brought to bear against the Legion. We must stand together against the coming darkness. We must cast aside the shackles of race and kingdom. We must unite as one!
The Blood Knights stand by you, High Lord. Azeroth will not fall.
We pledge ourselves to your cause, High Lord.
On this day, the Order of the Silver Hand is reborn. Together, Sargeras himself shall shudder at our might.
And there we have it. They're our little RP event. I love it. And I believe once we turn this in, we'll take a look.
We will prevail.
We've done it, High Lord. The Order of the Silver Hand is reborn. Even the most nefarious Legion Lords feel your presence on the battlefield. Yet they are relentless, fashioning even more terrible horrors and fiends in hopes of countering your might. High Lord, we must augment your power to maintain our edge over the enemy. The altar before you holds within it the essence of the countless heroes of the light buried in these sacred halls. Place your weapon upon the altar and imbue it with new strength.
Take care of Place the blade on the altar when you are ready. The light will be our forge.
Okay, I'm gonna take a look real quick. Did they give us the title? It does not. Used to get the title of High Lord when you finish that quest, so maybe they took it out, maybe it's bugged right now. And we'll take a look here. This is the Altar of Ancient Kings. You will go here all the time during this expansion to add artifact power to your weapon, to your artifact weapon. As you can see, we have the Eye of Tyr. This is the ability that we were given. It's on a 1-minute cooldown. It releases a blinding flash from Truthguard, causing 18,608 holy damage to all nearby enemies and reducing all damage that they deal to you by 25% for 9 seconds. And that leads to a Truthguard's Light, a 1-rank passive, which increases your holy damage dealt by 5%. It costs 100 artifact power, and Blizzard for this tutorial gives us 100 artifact power to start. So we'll go ahead and add that. As you can see, it takes all our artifact power away, and the rest of the UI opens up. As you can see, we have some with dragon portraits around, the golden dragon portraits around them. These are what we're working towards. These are the big ones, the big boys, the ones you really want. And you should, depending on what you're going to do, you should take a good look at which direction you're going to take. They're all super strong. I don't think you're going to make or break yourself by going one way or another, but I have not rated. It depends on what you're going to do. If you're going to be doing mythics, some might be more useful. If you're doing raiding, one might be more useful. If you're going to be doing a lot of world questing and this is an alt and you're just going to get your gear through that, one might be more useful. None of these in particular have I looked at up to this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at all of them. Leading from this first one we just put into, we can see we have Faith's Armor, a 3-rank passive, which increases armor by 10% while you are below 40% health, and that costs 300 artifact power for the first rank, and each rank will go up by 10%, so you'll end up increasing your armor at max rank here by 30%. Over here, Scatter the Shadows, a 3-rank passive, which increases the healing done by Light of the Protector by 10% for each rank, and that's 300 artifact power to start. Down here we have Sacrifice of the Just, a 1-rank passive, reducing the cooldown of Blessing of Sacrifice by 60 seconds. Moving up we have Righteous Crusader, a 3-rank passive, which increases damage dealt by Shield of the Righteous by 3%, and Shield of the Righteous reduces damage you take by an additional 1%. A Resolve of Truth, a 3-rank passive, increasing maximum health by 1%. Now here's one of our big boys, Bulwark of Order, a 1-rank passive. Avenger's Shield also shields us for 8 seconds, absorbing 20% as much damage as it dealt. So every time you cast Avenger Shield, you will also get a shield for 20% of the damage that it deals. And if you were watching along with me, you know that is up all the time. So you'll have little mini shields on yourself, kind of like Blood Death Knights when they're spamming their Death Strike. As we go up a little bit, we have Painful Truths, a 1-rank passive. While Ardent Defender is active, all melee attacks that strike you deal 5,259 holy damage back to the attacker, kind of like Eye for an Eye. Consecration in Flame, a 3-rank passive, increasing the duration of Consecration by 1 second. And we'll come down here first. We have Hammer Time, a 3-rank passive, increasing damage done by Hammer of the Righteous and Blessed Hammer by 5%. Up here we have Stern Judgment, a 3-rank passive, increasing the critical strike chance of Judgment by 3%. Here's another one of our big boys. We got Tears Enforcer, a 1-rank passive. The Knowledge of the Watchers causes Truth Guard to deal 2,465 damage to all enemies within 5 yards of each target hit by Avenger Shield. So that'll be good for your for some AoE threat. Let's move along. Forbearant Faithful, a 1-rank passive. Each active forbearance you have caused... Oh, excuse me. Each active forbearance you have caused increases the cooldown recovery rate of all of your forbearance causing abilities by 50%. That's really good. That's pretty incredible. I like that one. All right. Bastion of Truth, a 3-rank passive, increasing block chance by 2%. Unflinching Defense, a 3-rank passive, reducing the cooldown of Ardent Defender by 10 seconds. I believe we did all these, so we have our one over here left, the Light of the Titans, a 1-rank passive. Light of the Protector will also heal you for 2,912. Jeez, I'm sorry, I'm very tired. 29,255 over 15 seconds. So on top of the heal it already gives you, which we'll talk about in a moment, you'll also gain a hot. So that'll probably be your one for leveling. That'll be your I'm playing by myself type deal. I like that. As you can see right here across the top, we have 3 slots, one being locked right now. I believe that unlocks at 110. What these are, they are you put little gems inside of them, if you will. You'll get these gems through, or relics. You'll get them through questing. You'll get them world quests. You'll get them in dungeons from bosses. You'll get them from chests throughout the world, etc. You stick them in here, and what they do is they add item levels to pardon me. You'll add item levels to the weapons themselves, and you will also add ranks to certain abilities. So you do want to be careful, not while you're leveling, but when you're at 110, you will want to be careful. You know, if they both give the same amount of item levels to your weapons, you may end up losing a rank in, say, something that you're like this Resolve of Truth. You might get an extra rank in this to take that up to 4% or 5% or 6%, depending on how many ranks it's going to add, and it might only add 1 rank to, say, Bastion of Truth. So you might want to keep an eye on that. I don't know why that went away. It's the same for this one, and these Arcane Artifact Relic slots are really powerful. These, I think, are found in Mythics and raids and such. So these are going to be harder to get, but these are the big boys right here. And also, you can see you have to finish the Paladin Order campaign to unlock this. I thought it was at 1. I believe you have to be 110 to finish this up. So it'll be a while before this one gets opened. And as you can see, we have a number up here. We have our passive. For every rank that we purchase in these abilities, as you can see, we've only purchased 1. We already get, this does not count. So for every other rank that we purchase, we will get these passive stats. We'll gain an increase of 0.75% of our stamina for every trait purchased, up to 34 traits. So we can purchase more of these and get a passive stamina bonus. And for damage dealt, you'll get an increase of 1% for every trait purchased, also up to 34 traits. So that's our UI. You can access this, by the way, anywhere in the world. If you open this up and shift click, you can open this up, but you can only add your artifact power here at the Altar of Ancient Kings, but you can add your relics in anywhere in the world. So, we have to talk to Maxwell Tyrosis
At
now.
your
Take a look at
service.
that. I will continue beseeching the light to bolster your power, the power of your weapon. For now, its newfound strength should be more than enough. I think we are ready to introduce ourselves to the Legion on the Broken Isles. I'm sorry, thought I saw something. Lord Grayson Shadowbreaker has volunteered to help coordinate our forces on the ground. You should speak with him immediately, High Lord.
You can
Lord
always count
Shadowbreaker
on
will
me.
be
Expecting you. This way.
Still no title. I'm sad. Another paladin. You'll see plenty of paladins in here all the time. And we don't necessarily have to run with him real quick. I'll just show you around. There's little crypts here on the side where all the paladins are, except Uther.
Lord
Obviously.
Shadowbreaker, the High Lord would like to peruse the reconnaissance you've gathered on the Broken Isles.
You can see here some trainers. Not really needed anymore, but they're here. Here's our training dummies. There's actually a tanking training dummy somewhere here. There's a healer. Where did the tanking dummy go? He must be up here. No. There's a paladin right there. Oh, this is the tanking dummy. I clicked on him earlier. Okay, and you can see here at the top, you do see the order resources here. These are used, they're exactly like garrison quests that we had before. Let me get rid of that. These are exactly like the garrison resources that we had before. You gain them from doing just about everything. You'll get them from world quests at 100. These are for your order class quests. You will need these to progress through that. You will need to do certain things. It's just to gate you from getting through and doing everything so fast that there's no content to look forward to later. I know some people will be upset that we have those missions still, but they're really not. They're really not that bad. I've leveled to 110 on another character and been playing for a while since the beta came out. The day the beta came out, and it's really not that bad. It's just to kind of gate and time things for Blizzard so that they can work on new content while you progress towards getting certain things done. So we're not rushing everything down and then, as usual, complaining that there's nothing to do. But here we are. Here is Lord Grayson Shadowbreaker.
Greetings.
Now is the time to strike back against the Legion. The Legion still believes us crippled from the broken shore. They think we are unable to fight back. Let's prove them wrong. We've been hard at work mapping out the Broken Isles, learning everything we can about each region for our imminent assault. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Once you've had a chance to peruse the map, you should leave for Dalaran at once and charge into the Maw of the Beast. We will end this madness for good. Light help us.
Go with honor, friend.
And here is our scouting map. Let's open up that UI. There we go. Okay, as you can see, Dalaran. This is the Broken Isles scenario between these two. Here's Suramar. This is level 110. We don't worry about that till we hit max level. And you can see, you can pick any one of these zones to start. All of these zones, by the way, will level with you. So if you start at Azuna, Azuna will be 100. Same for Val'Sharah, High Mountain, or Stormheim. If I start at Azuna, go all the way around and end at Stormheim, Stormheim will be whatever level you are when you get there, usually 107 or 108, and you'll finish up through this zone. In this zone, all the mobs, eventually as you go back to do your world quests, once you've hit 110, will be 110 in every single zone, including Suramar, but Suramar's always 110. But all these zones will level with you, so the content won't be super easy when you go back to do your world quests. It'll just be one singular difficulty, meaning level-wise. Some of them are world quests. But we'll just pick Stormheim. We don't really care. We're not going to go into that. We'll just pick that to get the quests moving on.
What can I do for you?
Good luck out there. We're all in this together.
For
we
the
complete our
Alliance.
quests. Travel to Dalaran. Now you might say, well, how in the world am I supposed to travel to Dalaran? Oh, well, we've got this. But, how do we get back? We'll head over to this side, and right here. Here is our portal, our holy portal to Dalaran, at which point we'll also be able to come back through it. I'm not going to take that, because we're going to look at some of the abilities and some of our talents before we end the video. But this is how you would get back to Dalaran, and then you would just hit the portal again once you're in Dalaran to come back. You can see there's quests here and these little things around. We're not going to worry about this. This is a little bit of spoilery that I want to get into for you. And we do have a quartermaster here.
King's honor, friend.
You might be wondering what he's for. We'll repair a little bit. There's a set. There's a set you can buy. Once you hit 110. Each of the items has something that you have to do. Recruit 6 champions for the Order Hall. Just hit 110 for this one. Reach Honored with the Night Fallen. And be 110 to get that, etc., etc. These are pretty good. If this is an alt or something like that, these would be really good for questing. They have really cool set bonuses. You could get them on your main as well, but I feel like you're probably going to have much better gear just from doing the world quests and dungeons. Some of the pieces might be useful, like having the shoulders and the waist for the 2 set bonus might be really good, but you might not need to get all of it. What's this? Let's just take a look at that.
Light bless you.
That wasn't here before, I don't think. What is the contemplation ability? Oh, is this the... Oh, yeah. Okay. That's the old glyph. But anyway, we would travel to Dalaran there, and that would get us on our way to Stormheim, and you would be prompted to head back to, I believe, Stormwind to do that. So what we'll do is we'll head over here. The privacy of the tanking training dummy. All the training dummies are here. There's still some in Stormwind. I don't think, you can't quote me on that, because I haven't really checked in Dalaran. I've been too busy out in the world when I was playing by myself. But I don't think there's any training dummies in Dalaran, and the ones in Stormwind are tuned for 110. And I think these are tuned for 110 as well. Yeah, okay. So what we'll do first is we'll take a look at our weapon. We'll take a look at the model so you can get a better look at it. Very Diablo 2 inspired. I believe this was supposed to be inspired from the Great Gate, where Diablo fought one of the High Angels in the final act of Diablo 3. Pretty cool. I like the sword too. The sword's really neat looking. This looks a lot better than the Warriors one-hander and shield. So I am kind of thrilled about that. I don't know if I'll be playing Prot necessarily, but if I do at any point, this does look really cool. And it looks really good with your with the Judgment set. There we go. All right. Well, let's take a look at our talents. In the 15 tier, now we have First Avenger. Passive that increases the damage of Avenger's shield by 50% and increases the chance for its remaining cooldown to be reset by abilities and talents by 50%, but it now only hits one target. If you're going to be doing a lot of soloing through, it's not that bad. It's not great in dungeons, but you really have a lot of AoE threat between Consecration and other abilities, so it doesn't necessarily need to hit 2 people. So if you want to, pump out a lot of damage, that's a good one. And then we have Bastion of Light. Instant, it's on a 3-minute cooldown, and it immediately grants 3 charges of Shield of the Righteous. So if you've used up all your Shield of the Righteous charges, and you want to get 3 real quick, Bastion of Light's for you. Crusader's Judgment. A passive judgment can also trigger Grand Crusader. Grand Crusader is when you'll see... Oh, my mouse disappeared. Grand Crusader will proc Avenger's Shield off cooldown. So, I just like that one. You saw that came off cooldown all the time, which I really like. I like to be able to hold a lot of threat. I'm always very OCD and paranoid that somebody's going to pull threat off of me. And the 30 tier talents, Holy Shield, a passive which increases our block chance by 10% and allows us to block spells. And your successful blocks deal 4,932 holy damage to our attacker. Then we have Blessed Hammer, which which will replace Hammer of the Righteous, throwing out Blessed Hammers that spiral outwards, dealing 5,588 holy damage to enemies that it hits, and causing them to deal 15% less damage to you on their next auto attack. It's on a 4.42 second recharge time, and as you can see, it has 3 charges. Consecrated Hammer passive. Hammer of the Righteous has no cooldown. Hammer of the Righteous, Shield of the Righteous, and Light of the Protector now always gain the benefits of having Consecration down. In the 45 tier, Fist of Justice, Judgment reduces the remaining cooldown on Hammer of Justice by 10 seconds. Hammer of Justice is on a 1 minute cooldown, and so we can reduce that down pretty good. I don't know if that's necessarily super effective, but if you're going to be doing, if you're going to be doing Mythic Pluses, that might be useful. And then there's Repentance. 15-second cooldown. Forces an enemy to target to meditate, incapacitating the target and dealing up to a maximum of 25% of the target's health and damage over 1 minute. Usable against demons, dragonkin giants, humanoids, and undead. That's going to be really useful now. I like that it deals quite a bit of damage to them while they are incapacitated. Blinding Light. 2,560 mana cost, 1.5 minute cooldown. It emits a dazzling light in all directions, blinding enemies within 10 yards, dealing 19,722 holy damage, and causing them to wander disoriented for 6 seconds. Non-holy damage will break the disorient effect, which means if they're standing in your Consecrate, they're not going to get pulled out. If they get hit by Holy Blessed Hammer, they're not going to get pulled out. And if you get hit with them, if you hit them with Avenger Shield, it's not going to pull them out. So you can use your AoE abilities, and they're not going to pop out from some random AoE. And in the 60 tier, Blessing of Spell Warding. This replaces Bop. This replaces Blessing of Protection. It's on a 3-minute cooldown. Places a blessing on a party or raid member, protecting them from all magical attacks for 10 seconds. Cannot be used on a target with Forbearance, and causes Forbearance for 30 seconds. So this replaces Bop. Same thing as Protect. It's just the opposite. Protects you from mages, any kind of spells like that. Really, really good. I like this because I suck. I suck at paying attention to my cooldowns. So if I ever see I'm about to get hit with a big spell, I can just pop this on myself and instead of trying to figure out where I put Rebuke or spamming Avenger Shield when it's on cooldown. And then we have Blessing of Salvation. 1 minute cooldown, places a blessing on a party or raid member, temporarily removing all threat from the target and causing all additional threat generated to be transferred to you. So if you're running 2 tanks set up for something, throw this on the other tank if he's getting kind of low, and then it's basically a misdirection as well. So then we have Retribution Aura. Passive, you deal 329 holy damage to any enemy whose melee attack strikes a non-tank party or raid member within 60 yards. A non-tank. I don't really see this being so useful. Maybe I'm wrong. You can leave a comment if you're a Pally tank main. But I don't know what really the point of this is. You should never have problems holding threat. So I don't know what this is for. I could be wrong. Maybe it's good in PvP. Maybe this is a PvP ability. I don't know. In the 75 tier, we have Hand of the Protector. Replaces Light of the Protector, which is our heal. Calls down the light to heal a friendly target for 25% of the target's missing health on a 9.83 second cooldown. I mean, this is okay. I don't really see this being super useful. Maybe in PvP this could be useful, but I don't really see this being something that will be heavily sought after in terms of this talent tier. Then we have Knights Templar, a passive that reduces the cooldown of Divine Steed by 50% and reduces all damage taken while mounted on your Divine Steed by 20%. I think this will be really good in Mythic Pluses when you're doing progression through it, when you're not overgearing everything. I think this will be something that people will love. Be able to jump out real quick, get a damage reduction, allow your healer to kind of heal you while you're running away, or gaining some distance so that the targets have to run to you. Also, Pretty good if you want to line of sight something. Run up to them, pull them, jump on the steed, and run back to your team. Okay, Final Stand, a passive when your Divine Shield, when you use Divine Shield rather, you also taunt all targets within 15 yards for 8 seconds. So you pop Divine Shield, which lasts for 8 seconds, and that entire period of time, those targets are taunted towards you. So as long as no one else taunts it back, you won't be taking any damage, and those targets will be trained on you. This is my favorite in this tier. This is my favorite. In the 90 tier, Aegis of Light. A channeled ability on a 5-minute cooldown channels an Aegis of Light that protects you and all allies standing within 10 yards behind you for 6 seconds, reducing all damage taken by 20%. We're going to actually switch to this. Put this on our bar so we can look at it. Judgment of Light, a passive that applies Judgment of Light to the target, causing the next 40 successful the next 40 successful attacks against the target to heal the attacker for 1,170. This effect can only occur once per 1 second on each target. So if you have this, basically every time you touch a target with your Judgment, they're just going to put a 40 stack. Anyone in your raid, anyone in your group that touches that target with anything will gain a little bit of health back. It's useful. I can see this being useful. You know, you're doing groups, minor group stuff. This could be really good. Could be good in raids too. I'm not quite sure. And then we have Consecrated Ground, a passive where up to 6 allies standing within our consecration receive 486 healing every 1 second, and enemies within your consecration have a 50% reduced movement speed. Good for PvP, good for PvE. I like this one. I like this one a lot. This Aegis of Light is probably better. This is going to be used by, progression-focused raiders and stuff like that. Judgment of Light is probably second in this tier, and then Consecrated Ground is really good, but I think, in terms of the best in this tier, it's going to be one of these two. In the 100 tier, we have Righteous Protector, a passive where Shield of the Righteous reduces the remaining cooldown on Light of the Protector and Avenging Wrath by 3 seconds. And we have Seraphim, an instant ability on a 30-second cooldown. The light temporarily magnifies your power, increasing your haste, crit strike, mastery, and versatility by 750. It will consume up to 2 charges of Shield of the Righteous and last 8 seconds per charge. So if you have Seraphim and then you take, like, say, Bastion of Light, use 1 Shield of the Righteous, pop Seraphim, pop Bastion of Light, and spam Shield of the Righteous to get a bunch of damage off. I could see that being useful. Together, I took this particular so we could show off the animation. And then Last Defender, a passive where each enemy within 8 yards reduces the damage you take and increases the damage that you deal by 3%. This effect has diminishing returns. This would be really good. AoE pulls, mythic pluses. I don't really see this being, your raid ability. I would probably say Seraphim or Righteous Protector would end up being this, but I mean, I'm not particularly high on the rating totem, so I'm not 100% on that, but can see this being super useful later on as you progress through things. Okay, and the honor talents I'm not going to look at. This is something that you can look at from a PvP standpoint. I know nothing about Prot Pally PvP. I haven't PvP'd for a very long time. So there we go. None of these are indicative of, what is the best talents, by the way. These are just what I picked for this video, and so we could show off some of the animations. So, let's take a look at the abilities that you are given as a Prot Paladin. We have Guardian of Ancient Kings on a 5-minute cooldown, reducing all damage taken by 50%. We know that's been there for a long time. Let's take a look at that one. There you go. You turn into the Guardian of Ancient Kings now. Pretty cool. I love that they changed that. I think at the beginning of the alpha and the beta that actually was the old animation, and now it kind of turns you into it. Ardent Defender, reducing all damage you take by 20% for 8 seconds. While it is active, the next attack that would otherwise kill you will instead bring you up to 12% of your maximum. 12% of your maximum health. And that's what that looks like, kind of like Shield Ball. when you activate it. Pretty cool. These, remember, I'm not on max settings, so some of these may look a little bit better for those of you with, really great graphics cards and they can run everything in Ultra. Consecration is the same as it always was. It's got a new animation though. It looks really cool. I love it. This is even on low, by the way. So it's going to look a lot better for those of you with better graphics cards. Avenging Wrath, still the same. Gives you the cool wings, Red Bull, and all that. Okay, Light of the Protector. This is new. 14.7 second cooldown, calls down the light to heal you for 25% of your missing health. While we are standing on consecration, or in our consecration rather, Light of the Protector's healing is increased by 20%. So there we go. It didn't show any heals because obviously we haven't lost any heals, but you get the idea. Divine Shield's the same. Let's heal one more time. Yeah, it doesn't show us for some reason. Rip. And we have Blessing of Spell Warding. That's what that's going to look like. I like that. It gives us a little minor animation. It's pretty cool. Blessing of Sacrifice. Can we put this on someone? Is there anyone nearby?
The Naru have
See if there's a
not
player
forgotten
nearby
us.
we can cast it on. Hello? I know it's early in the morning. Are you a player? Yep, doesn't work. They need to be in our party. I think it's the same animation. I don't think anything's changed about that. Blessing of Freedom. Same thing as it's always been. Divine Steed. This is a new ability. Summons your holy mount to ride for 3 seconds, increasing movement speed by 100%. This is also usable while indoors or in combat. It's on a 45-second cooldown. This is much like the Crusader's ability in Diablo, so we'll take a look. Summons your holy mount. Pretty cool. I like it a lot. I like that they added that. Gives a little flavor. Cleanse Toxins, the same as it always was. Same with Flashlight. Nothing's changed about the animation for that. Rebuke is the exact same. Now we have Aegis of Light. This is a talent that we took. We'll take a look at the animation for that. That is our Aegis of Light. So cool. I love this ability. I was taking a look at it the last time I played through this. I love that ability. It just looks so cool. It would be super useful, but I'm dumb and I forget to use my abilities, or I don't think I need them, and then I end up dying, and I'm holding on to, really cool abilities like that. Here's the Eye of Tyr that we talked about, the ability from our shield here. Let's take a look at it. That is the ability. I know it doesn't look super cool. Again, it may look better on higher graphical tiers, or higher graphics settings, but I still think it looks pretty cool. Hand of Reckoning, that's our taunt. Same as it always was. Let's see. Yep, nothing different there. Nothing different there. We have our Blinding Light. Pretty neat. Our Hammer of Justice animation.
I need a target. I don't have a target.
I guess I have to actually target it. Pretty cool. It draws down from the sky. We'll look at that again when that's off cooldown because I wasn't looking at the target. Seraphim gives us a little crown, turns our weapon and our shield into holy avatars. Pretty cool. I like it. I like the little bit of extra they added onto that. And then we have Shield of the Righteous. It's changed a tiny little bit. It's got a 15.7 second recharge time on each of the charges here. Slam the target with your shield, causing 26,297 holy damage, and reducing the damage you take by 46% for 4.5 seconds. While I am standing in my consecration, the effects are increased by 20%. So kind of you want to... By the way, I forgot to mention that thing hits back. Yes, that thing will hit back. That's how you test your tanking ability. Darn it. Now here's our auto attack. I'm sorry, I've done that twice in 2 videos. I keep forgetting. Here's our shield. Pretty cool. And here's our Hammer of Justice. Nothing really super. But we'll take a look at Blessed Hammer. Same as Diablo 2, our old Paladin friends. Hammered in. I'm sure we can make that happen at some point. Figure out a good spec to work with that. Here's our Judgment. You kind of throw your Judgment and we'll back up a little bit so you can get a better look. There you go. Kind of throw a holy avatar of a hammer at it. And an Avenger Shield. Same as it always was. As you can see though, it kind of boomerangs and comes back. You catch it now. So, that's it. That is all of our abilities. Nothing's super changed. I did fail to mention that on Judgment, it will reduce the remaining cooldown on Shield of the Righteous by 1 second, or 2 seconds for a Judgment crit. Avenger Shield is the same though. Nothing's changed about that. But those are our abilities. That's everything that Prop Pally has. Some of this, again, if you pick passives, you won't have Seraphim. You won't have Blessed Hammer. You can keep Hammer of the Righteous. I believe it's called, right? Hammer of the Righteous. You'd still have Bop. You wouldn't have Blinding Light. You could just take a passive and you would. So you don't really need all of these buttons to be successful. I took them mostly because if I was playing this character, I really want to, I really want to have all of the best abilities, or what I deem the best of the abilities. So that's it. That's everything for the Paladin. That's everything for the Class Order Hall as well. So we'll just take a walk here and look at these statues. And come and take a look at this yourself. It's really beautiful in here. There's Uther, I believe. That's Uther the Lightbringer. Tyrion. Alright, everybody. I want to thank you for joining me to finish up this last of the Paladin videos. I hope you enjoyed yourself. You could leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. If you have anything that I didn't cover or a question, I can definitely come back on and read those numbers off and try and give you an answer. Hopefully I'll give you the right one. So you guys have a wonderful day, have a nice evening, and thank you for joining me.